What's going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI TV. Now today we're in the second of 3 videos we'll be doing in preparation for the Dublin Derby this Friday night at the Tallaght Stadium between Shamrock Rovers and Bohemians. Now in our previous video we had a look at who we thought was going to be the main man for Bohs on Friday night, Daniel Mandrew. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to go check it out. But today we'll be focusing on Shamrock Rovers and their main man, who we believe to be Jack Byrne. But before that, guys, there will be also a preview and predictions video coming out before the game on Friday night. So those are the 3 videos we'll be doing in preparation for the Dublin Derby. We hope you enjoy this content. If you want to keep up to date with all the stuff we have coming up for the Dublin Derby and all the stuff afterwards, we've lots of exciting stuff coming up, guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Now let's jump right into the video. Jack Byrne is a 23-year-old attacking midfielder who plays for Shamrock Rovers. Similarly to Daniel Mandrew, who we looked at in our previous video, he also came up through the St Kevin's Boys Academy, where he stood out from a young age and was snapped up by now Premier League giants Manchester City in 2012. After spending a few years with City, he then had an interesting loan spell with Canberra in Holland, where he actually impressed, playing 27 times. He then returned to Man City and had a short loan spell at Blackburn Rovers before eventually moving permanently to Lancashire club Wigan Athletic. He joined Wigan Athletic on transfer deadline day in January 2017, where he was remarkably one of 13 players brought in by the club in that window. As a Wigan fan myself, I was genuinely really excited to see him play. I knew he had a lot of potential, but things never really went right for him. An injury, then manager Warren Joyce, who signed him, who had the belief in him, got sacked not long after, and then also a relegation which led to budget cuts in the club. After just signing a 3.5-year deal a few months earlier, he had to begin looking for a new club once again. The club he found was Oldham Athletic, where he impressed, scoring 8 goals in 44 games before controversially off-the-field issues led to him having to have his contract mutually terminated with the club's owners, and it led to protests from the fans who could see his quality on the pitch and knew that it would be a bad thing for the club to lose his player in a free transfer. Jack Byrne then moved to Kilmarnock in 2018. He only stayed there briefly before returning to native Ireland with Shamrock Rovers. Byrne's signing was definitely a big deal for the league. To be able to attract a player of his level, pedigree, calibre was a huge statement of intention from Stephen Bradley's side. Remarkably, after the football journey he seemed to have had, he is still only 23 years of age, really young. He's had a phenomenal season so far, being capped off by winning last month's SSC Airtricity League Player of the Year award for July. He has scored an impressive 7 goals so far in this campaign, but it's in Europe where he's really stood out. Of Shamrock Rovers' 7 goals scored in the competition, Byrne incredibly had a hand in every single one, scoring 1 and assisting 6. He has come alive under the dazzling lights of the Europa League. The goal he scored in Europe was a truly memorable one. It was a goal at the Tallaght Stadium to draw level. They were losing to SK Brann at the time. It was to draw level at 1-1. They went on to go through in the tie. It's a simply superb goal. Let's take a look. Wow, the turn, the finish, just absolutely superb. Another standout moment from me from Jack Byrne this season is when he gets the ball against UCD, dribbles past loads of players and twists and turns in the box before firing it into the back of the net. Let's take a look at that one. Another truly memorable moment for him was his goal against Sligo Rovers. Picked the ball up on the edge of the box, couple of neat 1-2s. That's something he's going to look to implement against Bohs, I think, on Friday night. Really short, sharp, intricate passing. It's going to be crucial for Shamrock Rovers if they need to succeed in this midfield battle. It's going to be small, nice bits of play like that. And this goal is a prime example of what he's capable of. The way he picked up the ball on the edge of the box and just picked out the top right hand corner was truly delightful. And finally, what will give Rovers fans belief that they can end this torrid run of results they've had for the past 2 years against Bohs is that Byrne is in scintillating form at the moment, as shown by scoring 2 cracking goals against Waterford last week.
Here's Byrne. Byrne has a shot! Oh, and it's there for Shamrock Rovers! What a goal by Jack Byrne! Then into the Waterford half. Really good run from the captain. Finds Byrne. Byrne cutting in off the right side. Has another shot. Oh! Jack Byrne with another incredible...
Absolutely outrageous goals. He will also have been given a considerable boost by being recently named in the provisional squad by Mick McCarthy for the 2nd time, and it'll give him real motivation to keep performing well and keep playing to a really high standard, especially in these big games such as Dublin Derby. Gives him a really big chance to stand out if he really wants to pull on the green shirt for the senior team for the first time. In terms of the Dublin Derby so far this season, Byrne has been considerably quiet, especially for a player of his standards. Given Rovers have lost all 3 games and in one of them they were down to 9 men, it's obviously not all Jack Byrne's fault. He's not to be blamed for his own teammates' lack of discipline and stuff like that. Actually, when they went down to 9 men, he is one of the players that stood out in that game and actually showed a bit of desire to try and get something from it. But I think Friday night will present an absolutely excellent opportunity for Jack Byrne to show the whole country what he's all about. High pressure games like these can be make or break for seasons, and if Jack Byrne can perform in Friday night's game and lead Shamrock Rovers to victory, it will give Mick McCarthy a lot to think about when thinking about squads and starting lineups and whether he's going to give Jack Byrne minutes in upcoming qualifiers and friendlies. There's definitely pressure on Shamrock Rovers to win this game on Friday night, in my opinion. They owe it to their supporters to get one over on their rivals after the last 2 years of utter disappointment. Jack Byrne will be the man in green and white that most fans in the stadium are going to look towards and hope that he can inspire the team to victory. There will definitely be an expectancy on him from the Rovers faithful to be the match winner. Well guys, what have you made of Jack Byrne this year so far, and how much of an impact do you think he's going to have on the game on a Friday night? Shamrock Rovers fans, is he your go-to man? Is he the player that you'll be looking at on Friday and hoping he's the one to make a difference? Is there other players you think that will be involved heavily? Aaron McEnough, the likes? Let me know in the comments below. Leave your score predictions in the comments below. And as you know guys, now that Bohemians and Shamrock Rovers videos are both done, the next one will be a preview and predictions video. They have been famous in the past for me always going in Shamrock Rovers' favour and always being wrong. Bows fans always seem to get a laugh out of that. So it'll be interesting to see which way I think it's going to go. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with all the content that is going to be coming your way this week and in the very near future. I hope you enjoyed the video guys. Please like, share and most importantly subscribe.